What's up, YouTube community? It's Tim here again from SwingTradeFX. And yes, I know it's been a minute that I posted on the main YouTube page. And yes, I'm back. I'm here now. And if you've been following us on Telegram, you can tell that we're going through a phase of downdraft right now for the past 4 trades. And it's very important to actually talk about this and give you guys the real trading experience, right? There are definitely win days. There are definitely big win days. There are definitely break-even days. There are definitely the losing days, right? But what really matters is how do you position yourself throughout all these seasons of trading and different phases of trading in such a way that you don't allow it to get to you and you're still able to see clearly. And there's no other place that anyone could have done it more transparently than it is right now. I love to give you guys the real gist of what is going on so that you guys can have a realistic expectation when it comes to trading. And yes, downturns we've looked at back at our trading. We've optimized the little things, just a little one or two things in our system, and now we're back to the chart. And now that it's time to make profit, I decided why not I go live and show you guys in real time the analysis I'm going to make that we're going to use to actually make profit and recover our losses. So without much being said, much has been said. Let's get into the video. Let's go. Yeah, so welcome back. And in this week, I'm seeing some very good opportunities in the market. And yes, I'm going to be carrying everyone along to see how we do it, how we still choose to see clearly in the market, regardless of what the market is doing. The truth of this whole thing is that the market is as stable as it can get. And there's no point, blaming, the tariff war or whatever it is. The best way to learn is just look at the market since you're a technical trader, look at some stuff that you are doing wrong and kind of fix it in your system. The analogy I use is this. If you have a car and your car needs servicing, right? The best thing for you to do is just to take it to the workshop, right? Let it be serviced so that it can continue its function back. And the same thing goes into your trading system. When you realize that the market environment is changing and maybe perhaps you're doing one or two things that may not necessarily bring you profitability, you have to go back to the drawing board. You have to see what part of it exactly is affecting you and causing you losses and just fix it, right? Don't change your system. Just fix what is going on within your system. Remember, it's not about you. It's really not about you. Your trader system is an entity on its own. You are the person behind the system that use the system to achieve your own goal. So, and that means if you are the user, it becomes your responsibility to also be observant of trends and data and see if the data are not incongruent with what you want. You want to be able to take it out and replace it with something else and just fix the problem. Be a fixer, right? Don't be a dumper, right? Basically. So let's get into the GBJPY for this week. Is Monday, and the market is closed for the London session right now, and we're in a few hours we're going to enter. I think we've entered Tuesday, right? But it's just Monday in my time zone right now. So usually I love Monday to establish, what is going on in the market. Then by the end of the market close on Monday, especially the American time towards the end, I get information on what the week is going to look like. So with that being said, let's analyze the market. So in analyzing this market, the first thing I want to see is I want to understand the current trend of the market. And it's very obvious that the market has been trending way from the downside. Look at it, way from the downside to the top. The market has been trending in this fashion, right? But I'm not interested in all of the move. What I'm interested in is to know what is going on in the most recent market environment. So the most important thing that I wanted to bring out is the fact that the market began moving right here around this point right here. So we have a situation right here where the market is actually sitting on this level as the low and the market is sitting on this level as the high. So the significance of this is for me to just be able to understand where was the last injection into the market that pushed the market up here, and where is the last resistance where the market got to before the market started to give us the pushback for a possible retest, because I've not figured out that information. Remember, trading is all about identifying data and correlating these data to the current state of the market and using it to predict the future move in the market. Okay, so now that we have this to the upside, so what do I see? The first thing I want to see is the fact that the market came to this down path, and this is very important because at this point the market gave us a rejection. The market was not able to break below this level, which gives me the first indication of the fact that the market might actually be moving to the upside. And by the way, this is GBP/JPY, and I trade just GBP/JPY regardless of it, right? It takes a lot of discipline, right, to do this, but trust me, if you do it, it's gonna work out for you, right? And I love to teach all my students. And by the way, if you are a struggling trader right here and you love what we do and you love the way we interpret the markets in such a way that's not technical, but it's a more storytelling way of analyzing the market, you can click on the link in the description. You can get signed up to our Freedom course mentorship, where I'm going to be mentoring you guys, not just showing you how to make money in the market, but showing you how to stay the course in the market and have your psychology together even when things doesn't seem like they're working out for you, because that's the point that a lot of traders actually quit. So back to what we're doing, right? So we established the fact that the market could be finding a low right at this level, right? So the market could be offering us a higher low right at this level. And with this higher low that we have right at this level, right, we are going to confirm that. That means if we have this higher low, that means the market will be establishing the higher low and just continue to move to the upside. And everything right here apparently could just be a range where the market is just consolidating for the market to continue to go back to the upside. If you've been in my channel since the beginning of this year, I projected that the market will hit 208 at some point, but the market is taking a sweet time. And hey, we are not here to force the market to go in that direction, but we know the market is going because of certain confirmations that we've seen at the beginning of the year, right? However, within that move, there's going to be always opportunity for buys and sell, right? That's what makes trading a little bit tricky. So now the next thing I want to see here is I want to see the movement of the market, the structure of the movement of the market to the downside, right? So the market was moving lows, right? It started to reject right here, a possible lower high, but this lower high was not able to complete its move in the market, and we started to have a rejection, which this now established a new low, right? This established a new low in the direction of the retracement. Why? Because the market broke this point right here. So that is the most important thing, right? So what do we have? We have a situation where the market now starts to move a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low, lower high. So for us right now, what we start to see is there are many things going on right here, but I'm just going to call the summary for you guys. Is the fact that let me just take this out and I'm just going to call the summary for you guys so that you guys can understand what is going on in the market. So what I can see right here is the fact that the market is making a lower high structure. The market started to move on this move, broke the last lower high structure, and now the market seems to be retracing back to giving us a higher low for a possible move to the upside. This is facts in the market, right? And again, if you are finding it hard, I think one of the major problem that a lot of traders face from my experience is ability to read structure, because there's so many structures going on in the market and different contexts in the markets, and there's sometimes that you can have a buy or sell context in the market. Most people don't know, do I go with the buy, do I go with the sell? Because I'm seeing a bullish structure, I'm seeing a bearish structure, right? And this is why it's important for you to go through mentorship. So now we have this low right here where the market is actually reaching out, right? And with this low where the market is reaching out, what do we have? We have the market, the market was not able to reject it. So apparently the market came to this point right here. We have a point right here where the market came to more like a point of like support right at this level, right to this point, right to this point, right? And can it be the level that the markets will start to move on to the upside? Most likely it looks so to us. So I'm just going to label this, I love to label my chart, and I don't love to depend on just my memory to remind me, so that what I see is what I'm able to work with. So let's go to the 4 hours time frame. What do I want to see on the 4 hours time frame? I want to see what is going on right here. Then I can use it to actually open up opportunities in the market. But before I go back to the 4 hours time frame, remember that we had this retracement structure right here to this point where we feel that the market can be making a go straight upside. Why do we feel that we're not guessing it, but we see that the market is moving higher, high, higher, low, right? This low could not break above at this level, but now we have a new low right here. Is this low going to break this last lower high? We're going to find that out as we keep breaking the market down lower. So one thing I want to do is just to identify the different structure to the upside, this different structure point to the upside. And the reason why I'm doing this is to know and have an idea of where the market may be going on the long term, right? So what I'm doing is I'm identifying the major highs of the retracement so that I'm able to ascertain where the market might be going to on the long run. Okay, so now I have this different levels, so I'm just gonna have this as the lower high. I have another lower high right here. Then I have the most recent lower high right here where the market was reaching, right? And you can see the corresponding lower low right here. So I see a situation where the market is rejecting from now. Look at how I'm interpreting it. The market has made a higher low, higher high. Now the market is making a higher low. Now we have a mini high, mini low, mini high. Then we have a low, then we have a lower high, we have a lower low, then we have a lower high, then we have a lower low right here. So the market is literally making a retracement, if you connect the dot right here, in the direction of the trend, because now the market has been moving on a high, right to this level, a high, and this could also be a high. So this is how you're able to connect the dot. A lot of people actually do find mistakes in it, even seasoned traders, right? Even profitable traders, right? And it's okay, right? If you don't know something, you learn how to work with it. So with that being said, on the 4 hours time frame, which is the time frame where I get to actually do all the work right now, is like I always tell people, 4 hours time frame is the most important time frame. Do not underrate this time frame. It's the most important time frame, especially if you're like a swing trader, right? So now what do I want to do on the 4 hour time frame? What I want to do on the 4 hour time frame is, now that I know that the market might be going up to this level, I just want to know at what point, right? It's not just enough for me to know where the market is going to or where I can most likely taking profit. Is also enough for me to know where do I get in, because execution is key. So for me to be able to do that, I wanted to see the flow of the market. So now I start to identify another structure point. I have a lower high structure right here, and all of these, and I have the market kind of play out right here, broke the structure indicating a move to the upside, and ever since then the market has broken and started to form a new lower high got broken, gave us the first high, higher low, low right here, higher low, then high, and all of this, right? So what do I have right here? The first time when the market was gonna break this, we have a situation whereby the market is giving us a push to this level. We have a push to this level. This is the first breaker structure right here, which is very important to us. And you can also identify it out as a zone, right? So we have this level right here. And then from this level, what do we start to have again? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Now, could this be a higher high as well? We actually did not know. But next, the most important thing we want to identify is what? The fact that the market rejected right here at the higher low. And there's a pattern I want you guys to see right here, is the fact that when the market was retracing right back, we had the market retracing back after 61.8. So everything that the market had done had been rejecting right at the 61.8, right at this level. And we have the same thing for this level as well, not just 61.8, but you're going to realize that the market was rejecting a previous area of resistance, non support at the 61.8 zone, keyword zone, and now the market is going to the upside. Now we know where the market is going to. At what point do we have this? So what do we have right here? The moment the market rejected right at this level, we have this strong push to the upside, we have this exhaustion. Can we have the next push to the upside? We're going to find that out. So the next thing I want to see right here is the fact that the market, after the market made this lower highs to this point, the market moved to the upside, the market started retracing, but I saw something really incredible right here. And this is why you must pay attention to details when you're trading on the 4-hour time frame, or when you're analyzing using the 4-hour time frame. So we might just be having a point right here where the market might be taking off back. And is that the only conference I'm seeing? No. I want to bring out my trend line right here, and I see that the market, let me just identify the trend line. If you don't know how to draw the trend line, I refer you back to my video, right, where I talked about the trend line, and we have a much more recent update of how to use the trend line. A lot of people draw a trend line just to draw a trend line, but I said you need to be able to understand structures clearly for you to be able to draw accurate trend line, not just any trend line. So in this case, I'm drawing trend line within structures, right? So we might be having a possible confluence within the zone, right? So far so good. I'm seeing previous area resistance, non support. I'm seeing touch 1, touch 2, and touch 3 of the trend line. So we might just be having a very strong zone right here where the market might be taking it out to the upside. You see what we're doing? You see how systematic we have with it, right? So let's go back to the 1-hour time frame. So on 1-hour time frame, what do we want to do? We want to identify the whole zone right here where we propose that the market might be rejecting. So we have a zone right here where the market might just be rejecting. That means if we have a push to the upside right here, this might just be the level, and we can actually be in for some very insane profit going forward, right? So on the 30 minutes, what do I want to do? The most important thing I want to do is for me to understand at what point do I feel that the market is making a move to the upside. It's very, very simple. I have a situation where the market is making lower low, lower highs, and low to this level. So what is the first thing I want to do? I want to identify that if the market should break this, so my setup will look more like this. If the market should break this, I'm going to wait for a discount for a cheaper price, and I'm going to be buying to the upside. However, I still see a room for another trade opportunity, which is what? After this level, we start to have even smaller structures right here in the market, right? So what do I see? I identify the previous area of support, turn resistance, and what do I have next? I have a situation where I bring out my counter trend line, very important. This is going to give me added confirmation right here. So also draw your trend line correctly. If you do not draw your trend line correctly, it's going to cost you. I spoke about it. Go watch my YouTube video, and if you think you need something more deeper, again, reach out to me through the link in the description, and let me get you started on your trading journey. So what do I have right here? I'm having a situation where I'm looking at the market, and I'm looking at what the market might possibly do. Remember, you have to think in terms of probability. So now, if the market should break this level and the market give me a pullback to this level, I'm just going to enter this trade. I'm just going to enter this trade right to this point right here, right? And I can decide to hold it all the way to the top, right? For 1/9, I can decide to do that, and I can decide to take my profit right here, then wait for another level of discount to come into this trade right here to this level. Then I can now enter and just take my profit again. So this might offer me 1/3 for the first level. My stop loss right below this point right here, and the other trade opportunity might also offer me some very good discount point, more necessarily to this point right here, and we're going to push. So what is my decision? My decision, because I'm a swing trader, I'm going to be looking to hold this trade. So what am I looking forward to? I'm looking for the market to give me this break. I'm going to be looking for a discount, more into like the trend line area. Then I'm going to be looking for a buy. So what am I looking at right here? And any moment I figured out the market is broken and giving me a discount, I'm going to be looking out to this level, and I'm going to just be buying and taking my profit at the 90%. I don't have to take all the profit. However, what are the levels I'm looking out for? There are certain levels you want to prepare yourself for, the different levels that the market might offer you some sort of like consolidation. I'm looking at this level, which is the resistance level right here, even though I know I'm going to the upside. So these are the different levels I'm going to be looking out for, and I'm just going to be taking my profit right here. Now look at this beautiful thing, right? This trade has a propensity of offering us 1:9. What does that mean? Just this one trade literally can erase all the downdraft that I've had over the last 4 trades. As I said, I'm very transparent with it. Why? Because I have nothing to lose. We're always going to make the profit back, right? And I feel like if you make profit, you should be able to talk about your losses. So this is what I'm looking at right now, and obviously I'm going to leave the market to play out, and I would love to see how the market play out this week. And I'm going to be giving you guys updates on how this market plays out. We can see that the market didn't necessarily give us our entry confirmation, so we didn't bother to actually enter. But now the market is giving us a possible entry confirmation, and that is why I'm recording this, so that I can show you the process. And if there's something that you need to learn here, is just how to position yourself mentally. When they say that trading is a game of patience, this is what it means. When they say trading is a game of waiting, this is what it means, right? Now remember that earlier I've actually adjusted the setup right here. Remember that earlier we had a situation where we're thinking the market is going to move up from this point, and we're actually looking for a possible break right at this level. And look at the market didn't make any of that, so there was no point for us to get into any trade. The market went back. However, what has the market done so far? The market had made this move and started to move on this retracement structure, but because the market let's look at it together. Now the market is making this retracement structure right here, and here we go right here at this point. So what do I want to see? This market is still on an uptrend, and simply because the market is rejecting this last higher low, we have this high, we have a possible low forming right here. The market definitely is not looking to break this from the look of how the market is moving. And aside from that, what do we have right here? We have a situation whereby the market is actually filling into this level right here. So we have a possible spot where the market might actually be rejecting. So what are we looking at? We're looking at this level. A total break off of this level is going to guarantee that the market is going to move, right? But then because we are swimming in the direction of the trade, what are we looking at? We're looking for the market to give us a break right at this level. So when we get a break right at this level, what am I looking at? When I get a break with my stop loss right at this level, I'm moving right to this point. For my take profit 1, I'm moving right to this point for my take profit 2. So this is what I'm going to be looking at, and I could go to as much as this point. Actually, I'm looking to actually cash in about 1:5 on this trade when this trade gives me an opportunity to once this trade start to move. And this is going to be my setup. This is going to be immediately the market gives me a break above that level. Guess what? I'm in on this trade. Another thing I wanted to look at, which is the final thing, is now we can see that the market is breaking the counter trend line, right? So we have different converses. Touch 1, touch 2, touch 3. So far, this trend has been rejecting the market. The market is breaking it right at this level. And I'm just waiting for the next 10 minutes to see the market actually cross above this level. I'm going to get into this trade where the market is moving. I'm not swimming against the tide of the ocean. I'm moving in the direction of the tide of the ocean. And just by the way, I would expect to see the market at this level give me some sort of retracement. Is an expectation that's been factored into the trade before the market move, because at the end of the day, the market needs to find specific point of ejection to move to the upside. But this trade is a trade of set and forget of 1/5. Now, this I'm going to be giving you guys live update on how the market goes, and let's see how the market plays out. Okay, guys, so here's a quick update on how this trade finally went. And the market is already closed right now. This is the weekend, and the market did sure move the way we wanted it to move. And for me, this has been a very fantastic trade for me. Why? Because I got in on two entry, and the first entry, even though the market had not hit typical one, the first entry is currently sitting at 2.32. The second, which is the massive one, is sitting at 5.05 right now, which is about 1/7 risk reward. And upon the market opening, I'm going to be taking my profit off of this trade. I mean, 1/7 is really good, because this is taking me out of my down drawn and it's put me in positive, right, for the year, right? So now the question is, why did I decide to close this trade? You know, I was looking at with these two trades, I'm projecting about 1/16, but here I am closing almost about half of it when the market open up. And this is because it's already the weekend. I get to reflect on the market. I get to see what the market is doing. And I realized that the market might be giving us retracement. If you remember at the beginning of the video, I actually mentioned that there's going to be a retracement and we should factor that in. So I was expecting a retracement at this point, you know, over the week, but the market went as much as this point, build up to this. Now the market is finding a resistance right at this level. So first of all, this resistance level where the market is finding right here is actually the first reason why I consider the market might actually be making a move to the downside. And what is going to happen right here is going to take out all the profit. So instead of me holding the market through this retracement, I can just get out and take the 1/7 and still loading more positions when the market actually moves to the upside. So this is what I'm going to do. And what other reasons do I see right here? I could see something really similar right at this level as the market is moving. And what does it look like? It looks to me like the market is finding a counter trend line. Now, this doesn't mean that this is going to send the market to changing direction, or, you know, we are still very bullish, but these could actually factor, you know, some sort of like retracement, and there's no point holding the market back to my profit being eaten out again. So this trade, if you're watching this, definitely closing out immediately. By the time you watch this video, it's gonna be I believe I'm not going to be on this trade anymore. And this is because the sole purpose of this video is not to show you guys what I'm doing or whatever. It's just to kind of educate you guys and show you guys a very systematic way of trading the forex market. And that leads me to everyone who has been struggling in forex trading. I would say to you that if you feel like you're really finding it hard to find your feet in trading, my recommendation to you would be to find someone who can take you through, because I'll be real with you, this journey, as simple as it is, can be mentally frustrating. And what do I mean by mentally frustrating? There are some days that's going to be so tough in you. Like I said, prior to recording this video, I went through down draw on my last couple trades, and this trade right now upon this close has wiped away all the losses and put me even in profit, which is a very good one for the month, right? The point is, you are going to be tested, and it takes a lot of experience for you to bounce back from drawdowns. To be very honest, it takes a lot of experience in the market. So I would say, if you're really finding it hard to actually find your feet in first trading, your problem is not the money. Don't go take the next prop. These people making money off of you. Invest that money into yourself. You can subscribe to our mentorship. You can go to a website at www.SwingTradeFXacademy.com. and enroll with our mentorship. Is already open for the month of May, and come and see how I'm able to help you through your journey, to help you master your strategies and help you become a better trader. It's not about the cars, it's not about the shiny stuff. I'm not here to show you that, but the real chart work, how to make money, how to cope with downturns, and how to bounce back with the right psychology. As you know, I'm so big on psychology. So for everyone that's looking to actually master trading, you can click on the link in the description, or you can click on the link on Telegram and text me directly. Be aware of scammers. I'm never gonna text you first. So if anyone texts you and actually act as though it's me, just know you're being scammed. And yeah, this is how this trade plays out. And this week, I'm just going to be looking at the market retracing. The new week, I'm going to look at the market retracing back to this level, and probably I'm just going to be finding a buyback to continue to the upside. So this is what I'm looking with this trade, and I hope you guys are really just learning something. My goal is to provide transparent records to you guys to see. So even when I'm making profit, I'm as well interested in showing you my loss as much as I'm making profit, so that you can be able to have the real gist and the real experience of what first market looks like. I'm not going to sell what doesn't work to you guys. I'm going to show you what works to you guys and the real experience that comes with trading. Behind the glamorous life, there's a lot of mental manipulation that happens, and you have to be strong mentally. So the question is, how would you position your mind? How will you stick to your strategy? How will you refine your skill? How will you optimize the skill when the need be? So you can only do this when someone leads you through. So thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video and watch how I was able to show you my process from the beginning, and I hope you're able to take it and replicate it into yours as well. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your week. God bless you.